Third time on the front row for Daniel Ricciardo in Formula One. Sebastian Vettel starts then on pole position for the 46th time in his career. It's lights out and away we go. Ricciardo got away well. There's a staller at the back. It looks like the Toro Rosso of Sainz. Sebastian Vettel leads them into turn one, followed by the Red Bull. Kimi Räikkönen makes it into third. Danny Kvyat gets a little bit squeezed. Lewis Hamilton ahead of Nico Rosberg. Rosberg being pressurised there by Valtteri Bottas. Bottas, if he gets good traction, might get Rosberg into turn five as Vettel now leads Ricciardo, Räikkönen, Kvyat and Hamilton, and Rosberg, who does stay ahead of Bottas. There's another great start from Nico Hülkenberg in the Force India, already made up a few places, and we stream now through and onto Raffles Boulevard.
And Bottas then very close indeed to Rosberg. Rosberg parking his car in the middle of the track down into turn 7. They were all very cautious indeed.
Oh, and almost Sergio Perez running into the back of his teammate Nico Hülkenberg there. How they managed to avoid each other, I do not know. It's Max Verstappen who's running at the back. Carlos Sainz did manage to get away. It was his teammate Verstappen being cheered by the fans but being pushed by the marshals. He will not like that at all. Fernando Alonso is up into 11th place. Has to be said, look at the lead that Sebastian Vettel's got so far. And when I say look at the lead, imagine it. You barely saw him in the picture there. He is already streaking clear of Daniel Ricciardo in second place. It's back to 2013 all over again. He's that far clear, but this time he's in the red of Ferrari and crosses the line to Sebastian Vettel with a lead over Daniel Ricciardo of 3 seconds. 1 second for each mile of the first lap.
He must have carried 5 miles an hour more through that final turn as well. So much confidence. This is where we remember Vettel in his championship winning years, isn't it? Just straight on the pace. Incredible. It's really struck me how much the drivers are tiptoeing, how little grip there is out there. And that's Perez did an incredible job not to crash into his teammate as Verstappen finally gets away. What a shame, because he's been exhilarating, exceptional.
3 abreast going into turn 1.
Let's see who that was. They did well not to smash into the back of Verstappen's Toro Rosso.
That was Grosjean, yeah.
And who is that going across the curbs?
Looked like 2 Force Indias and a McLaren.
And then more contact after that.
Oh, we would have done.
It's the scariest moment when a driver stalls on the grid, because you're totally unsighted. And there then is Perez doing a magnificent job of somehow, through sheer willpower, not wiping out his teammate. Hamilton's in relatively clear air, but he's 1.2 slower than the leader per lap. 1.5 it was in qualifying. Obviously Vettel has a totally clear track and he's built that 4.7 second lead, but no stunning pace. And the amazing thing about the Mercedes, they got out of the car after qualifying, we have no idea what happened. The car felt reasonably good. And still today, we come in, don't we, into the track. Yeah. We don't know what happened. Tell us what happened. Is Vettel starting to get some tyre degradation? Has he pushed? Did he go out too hard, too early? Ricciardo starting to come back at him.
Yeah, even in the first sector, less than a tenth of an advantage for Sebastian Vettel, which might suggest that the traction wasn't great coming out of turn 5. Round the first corner, has the undercut worked for Lotus? Alonso is just out ahead of Romain Grosjean, but Grosjean, though, on warmer tyres, on the soft compound tyre, might now have a go as they go into turn 5, tries to slot in behind the McLaren. Now Mercedes power against Honda power. Who's got the advantage? DRS for Romain Grosjean. We haven't seen any overtaking yet. We might get in now, everybody. Here comes Romain Grosjean into turn 7, passes Fernando Alonso. The undercut works only just, though. Alonso put up a brilliant fight there.
Yeah, close stuff. Kvyat, of course, had to use a set of super softs in Q1 yesterday, so he doesn't have a new set for the race.
Oh, and that's a contact. Hülkenberg, and coming out of the pits, the Williams, and Hülkenberg is out of this race. Massa didn't do anything wrong, stayed within the white lines. Here in Singapore, as the safety car pulls away, and at full speed the cars pelt and accelerate down towards turn 1, and Vettel's got to try and charge and open up a gap once again. He survived this safety car restart. He's done it once or twice here in Singapore before, and there's a massive gap, isn't there, between Fernando Alonso and Pastor Maldonado, who rather looked like he was caught napping.
Yeah.
And look, it's in neutral, Martin, as that'll be why Pastor Maldonado was so far back then.
Vettel's backing up Ricciardo, I think.
we've got a race on our hands here. It is not one-way traffic after the safety car restart for Sebastian Vettel. And it's not going to be easy for Daniel Ricciardo here as well, because if he does mount a challenge and make a mistake, well, Raikkonen's there to get him.
Well, Lewis's view is that he thinks he's trying to back him into his teammate so Raikkonen can get through. So he's actually intentionally going slow.
Lost power, guys, lost power. Okay, we're looking.
Hamilton has retired here before with mechanical problems, of course, in 2010 and 2012.
Quick, guys, quick. We're working on it, working on it.
Yeah, he had a very slow middle sector on this lap, and it's a 1:55. So he...
and he's been overtaken by his teammate Rosberg into the first turn. Thinks, you might have lost power, mate, don't care. I still want to be in this championship. I'm going to try and get past you. Hamilton quickly swamped now by Danny Kvyat as well, in real trouble. Rosberg's ahead of him. Kvyat goes round into turn 5.
Okay, Lewis, so we see the throttle's not going to wide open throttle. Is it the pedal? We can't see anything electrically. Well, I'm accelerating to full throttle, but it's just not going.
The night is over for Lewis Hamilton, out on lap 34 of the Singapore Grand Prix. Was running in 4th place when his engine started to have a problem.
There's a fan on the track. There's a fan on the track.
What is this? Just a man going for a stroll alongside the track. There is somewhere in the region.
Tell the safety car to speed up a bit.
Okay, copy, we try.
We want you to save as much fuel as possible, and we need some hard braking events to keep the temperature in the front brakes.
And Rob, you tell me and pat your head. Alright, we can do this.
Under braking a little further on, Grosjean behind him, his teammate Maldonado. Maldonado gets past Button. There is Ericsson and Verstappen. Verstappen ahead there of Ericsson. Sainz still behind him. Button tries to have a little go and makes contact, does he, with Romain Grosjean. Grosjean goes wide, rejoins the track, still ahead. And now there's contact, and there's debris flying all over the track, and Carlos Sainz runs straight into it.
From Jensen, just got caught out, hit the throttle early. Maldonado in the way. I think that's probably... We've heard the frustration from Jensen on the radio all afternoon.
I should have known, really, that he's mental.
Yeah, we'll have another look at it. It looked... Jensen, I should have known he was mental, but... so this is for position.
Well, this is Verstappen and Maldonado. And now Carlos Sainz forces Maldonado off the track, rejoins it. Sainz close to the wall, and he's got a great toe as well, hasn't he, Martin? Downhill braking zone into this turn 14. Grosjean puts the car as wide as he possibly can, but that's a great exit from Verstappen. He might have the inside line now, going into the next big braking zone. Verstappen moves up ahead of Grosjean.
Where they've got the extra traction, the extra bite from those Red Mark super soft tyres.
What could this Toro Rosso car do if it didn't have a Renault engine in the back? You do wonder. It's a lovely machine. It's down the inside. Into turn 1 goes Carlos Sainz. Romain Grosjean has to yield, goes off the track. Here is the man leading the race with the fastest lap in this race as well. On course at the moment for his 3rd victory as a Ferrari driver and his 4th victory on the streets of Singapore.
Okay, we need to swap positions.
No!
Max, just do it.
Newly upgraded Ferrari engine has kind of given them the same amount of horsepower that Mercedes have been enjoying. He put in an absolutely stellar pole position lap to start this race at the head of the field, and he has come here tonight to absolutely dominate this race. In the last 6 consecutive races, he has now won 4 Singapore Grand Prix. He's finished 1st or 2nd in the last 6 years. The fireworks tonight are his as a winner. Sebastian Vettel wins the Singapore Grand Prix. His former teammate Daniel Ricciardo comes home to take 2nd place.
Yes, you did it! You did it! Pole position, race lead from lap 1. You great, you magic.
Sei un campione, grande Sepp.
Grazie ragazzi, grazie. Che giornata, che giornata. Che dire. Vi sentite? Forza Ferrari!
For a 4th time in Singapore, Sebastian Vettel on top of the podium, drinking in the moment. But for the first time as a Ferrari driver here, he's won the Singapore Grand Prix.